Everybody, Wilfie here in vertical mode. My apologies. Right now, the alternative is this view, and well, that might work actually. I don't know how you folks feel about this. So yeah, here's the deal. The way the mount works, I can shove it through. We can either shoot through the steering wheel, which, I guess it works. You're just going to have to deal with this occasionally. Or I can shoot vertically. So, we'll try it this way. We'll see how badly how badly things screw up. Whoa! And let's not hit the car in front of us. So, right. Welcome to my Prius Prime. I don't think I've recorded any face cam videos in this thing yet. Successfully. I have recorded a few, but the air vent kept blowing air onto the mic, and you couldn't hear me. So yeah, anyway, welcome aboard. This machine is amazing. I absolutely love it. I've got 1,900 miles on it now, and 1,200 of those were driving it home, so I'm not putting nearly that kind of mileage on this on average. Just went to Uncle Sam yesterday and paid $2,000. Pretty much on the dot. I think it was $2,000.54. The sales tax. You have to pay the sales tax when you buy a new car. And the fine gentlemen and ladies up in Vermont were kind enough not to charge me Vermont sales tax, because they knew I was bringing the car back to Florida. So, props to them. I rarely do this, but I'm actually gonna shill a car dealership, and I need to go back and give them a good review, because now that everything's all done with, I wanted to wait and to make sure I didn't get screwed before I posted positive reviews. But they were good. They kept to their word. They didn't screw me in any step of the process. So if you ever happen to be up in Vermont, and you are in the market for a car, new or used, go poke around Faith's Auto. Faith's Toyota Ford, I believe, is the full name of the place. And they are up in, not Utah, I said Utah, I meant Vermont. If you're up in Vermont and looking for a car, give them a ring. They treated me quite well. Gave me a good trade-in on my old car. They actually matched Blue Book, which made me happy. They did that sight unseen too. They actually committed to that in writing before they even got to look at the old car, the old Prius. But they stuck to their word. They didn't try to screw me too hard on the rebates and incentives. They initially pretended there wasn't a rebate, but I was like, no, here's the website. This is what you sent me. They're like, oh right, yeah, we forgot about that. I'm like, okay, whatever. A little bit of sales shenanigans you kind of have to expect at any car dealership, but that was all they did. There was no hard sell on any kind of warranties or extra garbage packages they can add at the dealership, nothing like that. It took about, from the moment I arrived to driving off the lot in my shiny new Prius here, I think it was about an hour and a half. And that included a test drive that they insisted I take. It's like, dude, I want the car. I drove 1,200 fucking miles to get the car. You made the sale. And he's like, take it on a test drive anyway. Okay. So I did. And I, had my first 3 miles of fun in it. Then I went back and bought the car. But anyway, yeah. So it was really just signing some paperwork, running my credit, because we had to finance like 7,000 of it to qualify for the Toyota incentive. But I paid that off as soon as I got home, and in fact, when I made the only payment, it's literally the only payment I made to Toyota financing was the full amount, the payoff amount on the car, because I wanted to buy it in cash and I didn't want to deal with financing. So they ended up getting $6.50 of interest out of me. But then last Friday they sent me a check for $5 because I guess I overpaid. So I got a $4,000 incentive off the price of the car, and I paid $1 and change in interest. So hey, it worked. And somehow my credit score is 800. I don't know how that worked, but and I own the car outright. And they even sent me a little notarized, Toyota sent me a notarized thing saying, yeah, we release our lien on this vehicle. It's all yours. Have fun. And it's a damn good thing I took that with me to the DMV yesterday, because they needed it. God, that woman was slow. Fat, ugly, and slow. Half an hour. And nothing went wrong. They had all the paperwork they needed. and it was smooth, but it just took her forever. And I don't even understand how it took her that long. Apart from the fact that she was your stereotypical lazy ass, overweight DMV worker. It's got to be such a cushy job. It has to pay well, and the benefits have to be insane for them to stick with it like that. But whatever. Right, I am at the grocery, so I will continue this little babble in a minute. I've recovered. Right, so I'm back. Cat food acquired. And some donuts for me, because, that's totally healthy dining, and I gotta, be all careful and stuff with my potential heart issues. Now, actually, I don't know that I've updated everybody about that. So I did do the 24-hour heart monitor thing, and that was as cumbersome as it sounds. It really isn't too bad. They just stick 5 electrodes to your, 5 little sticker pads to your chest, and they snap a wire to each, and it hooks up to a little machine that either goes in your pocket or dangles around your neck. I chose the neck option because I just know my general uncoordinated self would have probably unplugged something if I kept fidgeting with it in my pocket. So I did do that and turned it back in. Have not heard anything back from the cardiologist about the results of that test. So I'm inclined to think that means there's nothing major or nothing seriously wrong. Of concern, the biggest concern was that pretty much the whole time I was in the hospital at the ER, as they were monitoring me, my heart skipped about 10 to 15 beats per minute. And that was just enough to anger the little sensor that they had attached to me, or the monitor. So it kept going off, and they eventually had to silence it. So they, of course, noted that and talked to the cardiologist about it, and she said, yeah, that's one of the things we're going to have to watch for. They've got me scheduled in the November 1st, I think it is, for a stress test. And they said that's going to be an all-day thing. So, yay! They're gonna test my heart by walking me on a treadmill. And I hope to God they record it, because it's going to be the funniest thing in the world. Anytime you take a fat ass like me and put me on an exercise machine, it becomes comedic. So, yeah, there's an hour and a half session that morning, and then an hour and a half session in the afternoon. She told me to basically expect to be wiped out and dead pretty much all day. She didn't say dead. Doctors are careful not to use that word. Yeah, so that's going to be fun. There's some other test that they scheduled for 2 or 3 days following that. I'm pretty sure it was 2 days after. And I forget what it was. It was much less strenuous than the physical labor stress test. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm actually following up and continuing the diagnostic process for this whole heart thing. I didn't just blow it off, and I know a lot of people do, and that pisses people off. And I mean, shit, my ex-fiance's father had 5 heart attacks before I met her, and he had a heart attack in the last 6 months she and I were together. And that was a scary drive, because it was way over on the coast. So, I had to drive, and of course she was fucking panicking. because it's her father. That's allowed. And but he was one of those stubborn people that he drove himself to the hospital while he was having a heart attack. Crazy bastard. Tough as nails, but absolutely insane. And he was one of those that he always worried us because he didn't tend to completely follow the instructions his cardiologist gave him, so with obvious results. But no, I'm not being like that. I'm doing what the doctors tell me, and participating in all their exams and tests and all that jazz. If got good insurance, may as well use it, right? And as depressed as I get sometimes, I do not want to die. I would like to keep carrying on. There's something good in this world waiting for me. I just gotta wait, and I just gotta make it, and I gotta find it, and that's all. I kind of think that's true for everybody. We get mixed up in details that don't matter and distract ourselves with shiny things like, oh, I don't know, some people buy new cars. Can't imagine who would have done that. I don't know, guys. Does this count as my midlife crisis? It's not fire engine red. It's not a sports car. And sad to say, I do not have a naturally busty 20-year-old blonde sitting in the seat next to me. I'm also not encumbered with a bitch of a wife either, so that's always good. I'm a swinging bachelor driving a Prius. So, just so you know, not all Prius owners are complete assholes. Some of us are completely and fully aware of the stereotype that goes with it and the general impression it gives. But I don't fucking care. I love this car. And another reason I love it, I've gone 366.7 miles on this trip so far, on this gas tank, and it is still 7/8 full, and my average mile per gallon has been 131.1 miles per gallon. So, don't like this car? Suck on that. That's never going to stop being amusing. This fucking thing's amazing. I have to clean out my garage, which I've been saying for, Jesus, years. I think I've been saying that since before I started live streaming. But yeah, I actually need to clean out the garage because I want to start parking the car in there, keep it out of the elements. But also, I'm going to call an electrician today and have them come out and install a 240 volt 60 amp circuit and install my little, I got a level 2 charger for the car. Because it comes with a level 1 charger that plugs into any regular outlet, and it takes a whopping 5.5 hours to charge the beast up from empty. And that's okay. It just means you leave it plugged in overnight. No biggie. But the level 2 charger can charge the beast in 2 hours, pretty sure. So it cuts the charge time down to less than half. And totally worth it. Plus, I get a tax credit of up to 30% of the cost of purchasing the charger and installing it. So that's in addition to the $4,000 tax credit I'm getting for the car. I'm actually going to get a refund this year. How cool is that? So yeah, it's going to be nice. And then I'll be able to park the car in the garage and just charge it up with a charger that's mounted to the wall and not something I keep having to fish out of the trunk every time I get home. Crazy thing is, it's actually gotten my neighbors to talk to me for the first time in years. It's not because people in my neighborhood are unfriendly. Everybody's friendly. I don't know, it's kind of a sign of our times. Neighbors just don't tend to hang out with each other anymore. And that kind of bums me out. And I'm going to have to reach out and try to fix that. Get more involved with my community. Because it's not that I'm lonely, it's that I think, well, for one thing, it'll be good for me to be around more people. Might actually meet someone special that way. And especially now with the Shaolin Sheiks continuing to screw things up for everybody. And there's a real tendency for everyone to self-isolate. And that is going to be more destructive to Western civilization than anything else. So, I don't know. I feel like maybe I'll be doing my part, getting out there and talking to neighbors, encouraging sanity, correcting actual misinformation. Fuck what big tech says is disinformation. You're not supposed to, I don't know who died and made them gods of truth, but, we're one step away from the old Babylon 5 Ministry of Truth crap. And that's really scary, and that should pretty much scare everybody out there. Read a good analogy about that. There was some drug that people started talking about taking maybe, I don't know, Trump was still in office, so like 6 or 7 months ago. And it's apparently monstrously effective in dealing with COVID symptoms. But people grabbed hold, and it's been used in humans for probably, 60, 70 years? It's a very old drug, very well understood. And the typical idiots, including the media, got hold of the idea that the drug is also administered to horses. And so all of a sudden it became, what, you're going to take horse pills to beat COVID? You stupid anti-vaxxer. So, they make smoke alarms. Those things you put up in your house that detect smoke to try to help you avoid dying in a house fire. And they're 99.9999% unlikely to cause any kind of plumbing problems in your house. And there are billions of them installed around the world. But they also get installed in animal pens. So, should we ban anybody that says smoke alarms don't work? Should we just ban them from social media, from working in a regular job? I mean, should we prevent them from having gainful employment if they don't want to get the smoke alarm vaccine? Or if they even dare publicly say, hey, the smoke alarms don't work? Sounds kind of stupid, doesn't it? Here we are. Anyway, I'm back home. Time to feed the cats before they kill me and get my day started. So, right, thanks for listening, and I will catch everybody later. Sorry about the screen rotation stuff and the steering wheel thing. Still ironing out the kinks. And we'll get it straightened, though. So, right, catch you guys later.